Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to a YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, we are going to be continuing our AFL 2023 3-game match reviews. And in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the middle three games from round 10. And those games are Fremantle vs Geelong, Brisbane vs Gold Coast and Essendon vs Richmond. So there was a big upset in the West. Fremantle vs Geelong at Optus Stadium Saturday twilight. And it was Fremantle who have changed their name to Wallayup. I believe. I am not great at pronunciation, but I gave it my best crack. Fremantle 16-10, 106, Geelong 11-11, 77. Freo won by 29. And this is the second straight week, 2 from 2, that the Cats have lost now versus Richmond and Freo. And it wasn't the easiest game for Geelong to win, but they really did get smashed in a few key areas, really. Very good game to start, and the Cats are in this for the entirety of the contest until later on, but first quarter was quite an exciting contest. Second term, 1, 2, 3, 4 Dockers goals in a row did give them the slight edge. A 5-goal-to-3 term does help them lead at half-time. In the third quarter, the Dockers kicked 1, 2, 3 in a row as well to get the margin out to 20. It hovers around there before the Cats kick a couple late to draw it back to about 10. And then the last quarter, it stays at 10 for the first half of them. 1, 2, 3 late goals, and the only 3 goals, and the only 3 goals of the term all go Freo's way to seal the deal. And the Cats do not kick a goal in the final term. 135 fantasy for Brayshaw, 125 for Sarong, 114 for Schultz, 93 for Bruin, 92 for O'Driscoll. Goals behind, 3 goals for Hawkins, Walters and Amos, 2 goals for Frederick, Smith, Stengel and Henry, 1 goal, 3 for Banfield. Disposals now will go 33 for Brayshaw, 28 for Sarong, 26 for O'Meara, 22 for Aish, Young, Ryan, 20 for Banfield, Schultz and O'Driscoll. No Cats got above 20 disposals, but a couple for them. Bruin, Tui, Smith, Blitzarves, all getting 19, 19, 18 and 18. So not a lot of footy there for the Cats at all, which we'll be able to touch on that in a moment. 10 marks for Driscoll, 8 for Banfield, Pearce, Schultz, tackles, 10 for Brayshaw, 9 for Sarong and Atkins. Hit-outs, 43 for Darcy, 21 for Segler, 15 for Blitzarves, 13 for Jackson, 2 for Hawkins. Team stats now where 382, 276 disposals really doesn't surprise me because of the numbers at which the Cats had. 45 inside 50s for Fremantle to 52 for the Cats. So despite going inside 50 less, still managed to generate enough opportunities. And the Cats went inside 50 more, couldn't generate enough to kick a winning score. Clearances 46 to 40, 14 to 11 out of the centre, 32-29 stoppage in favour of the Dockers as well. Their midfield is finally getting back to its best. We knew that was a part of the area we knew that was a part of the ground which they were actually quite good in. And it is, yes, 10 rounds in, but I think we're finally finding out their potential, which this midfield has. And we saw that a glimpse of last year with some names like Jackson and that coming in definitely does help. 249 to 142 uncontested possessions in favour of the Dockers. They also won contested ball by 8 more marks, 105 to 70, 15 to 11 marks inside 50. They led this game for 3 quarters of it. And in the end, they walk away winners. A big win to get their season back on track. Now to the Q Clash, and it was Q Clash number 24, and it was Brisbane 16-11, 107 that defeated Gold Coast 9-10, 64 by 43 in the end. This game was played a lot closer before the Lions absolutely got it out in the last quarter. But the first 3 quarters of this game, despite the Lions definitely having the lead and the advantage for most of it, they were the better side. I do feel like the Suns in the first term were the better side though. 2 goals 5, 4 goals 2 at quarter time. And yes, the Lions did kick 2 late goals inside the last minute to get that handy lead. So I felt like the Suns did win the quarter. They looked a little bit better. Second term, that's where Brisbane 2 goals to 3, even though like the Suns kicked their 2 goals inside the last minute again in that second term. They only had 1 for the quarter before that last minute, whereas King that bobbed up twice. So really poor quarter there from Gold Coast, but their ability to bounce back at the end of it was good enough to at least keep a minute. Had a couple of cracks at the start of the third term, but again, there was the Lions that managed to just kick a couple more goals, 4 to 3 in the term, which got them off and away. The Suns came in 5 at the start of the last, which was their only goal for the term. Then the Lions kicked 6 more to pile on the pain and seal your deal. AFL Fantasy, 128 for McCluggage, 127 for Ashcroft, 125 for Dunkley, 117 for Neil, 100 for Gunston, 4 goals for Danaher, 3 for King, including 3 absolute vital ones, 2 of them just before half-time to bring his side back into things. 2 goals for Cameron, Hipwood, McCarthy and Lukosius as well. Disposals, 35 for Neil, 30 for Ashcroft and McCluggage, 29 for Dunkley, 26 for Humphrey, who enjoyed a good game, 22 for Wilmot. Marks 13 for Gunston, 9 for Andrew and Ballard. Tackles 12 for Rare, 8 for McCarthy. Dunkley, Holman hit-outs, 51 for Witts, 36 for McInerney. Quite an enjoyable ruck contest throughout the night. Two very good rucks. Some of the game's better rucks battling it out. Witts did have the advantage. Of course, as we know, 51 to 36 hit-outs, 3 as well for Casbolt team stats now. Where it was mostly Witts and McInerney going out in the ruck battle for most of the night. 60 to 39 inside 50s in favour of the Lions. That stat does tell a story itself. 42 to 36 clearances in favour of the Lions. 14 to 8 centre. 28-28 out of stoppage. Brisbane won in contested ball 140 to 119 and uncontested possessions 228 to 171. So a big win there. Marks 127 to 95. 13 to 8 marks inside 50. A couple of really easy uncontested marks inside their 50 as well. And again, Brisbane did lead for 3/4 of this game, and they continue on their strong domination in Q clashes and continue on their good form towards the top of the ladder. And Gold Coast, this is definitely a disappointing performance for their year after having a very good last couple of weeks. Couldn't do much this week. And now the final game, this 3-game match reviews with Essendon vs Richmond at the MCG. Essendon 10-11-71 defeated Richmond 10-10-70 by one singular point. This is going to have to go down as one of the games of the year. We'll go through the timeline though, and it was a inaccurate first quarter for Richmond. 4 goals, 1 Essendon, 3 goals, 5 Richmond. Richmond did own the first half of the quarter. The Bombers owned the next half, especially when they kicked the 3 goals in a row. Before then, Richmond kicked 2 more to gain a little bit of momentum back, and then Essendon get one late in the term. Second quarter is where Richmond do dominate a little bit more. Essendon kicked 6 behinds in that term. 1 goal 6 to Richmond's 3 goals 1. So Richmond do win the quarter. And in the third quarter, that's where Richmond look like, that's where they threatened to win the game. Well and truly, they look 2 goals to 1 in that term. And yeah, both sides really did have opportunities in front of goal as well. 6-10 to 8-10 at 3/4 time. Richmond lead by 2 goals, and they extend their lead out to 18 points at the start of the last quarter. And not that it's over by then, but you do just feel like Richmond have got this one. They only need a couple more goals or a goal or 2 more to prevail, you'd think. And then Essendon kick 2 really quick ones. Then Richmond get 1 back, and then Essendon kick the last 2 goals of the game. But yeah, the 2 that Sam Durham popped up in the last quarter for 2 crucial goals, which in the end were game-winning goals, especially the game winner. In the end, 158 fantasy for Merritt, 127 for Ridley, 120 for Taranto and Bolton, 117 for McGrath. Goals behinds, 2 goals, 3 for Wiedemann, 2 goals for Menzies Martin and Durham, as well as Mansell and Bolton. Disposals, 30. We'll go back to goals behinds. Actually, Mansell did have a chance to at least put his side up by 6 points, but he missed a lot. They're up by 5. He could have put them up by 6 or 11, and if he had to kick that goal, probably would have been game over, but 39 disposals for Merritt, 33 for Taranto, 32 for Ridley, 31 for Caldwell. Marks now 14 for Ridley, 12 for McGrath, 11 for Martin, Floston, 9 for Ross. Tackles 7 for Merritt, Bolton, and 6 for McDonald, and Woody, Stringer, Hobbs, and Nankervis. Hit-outs 22 for Draper, 16 for Nankervis, 8 for Phillips, 5 for Ryan, 1 for Reebok. Team stats now 56-60 inside 50s in favour of the Tigers. Lots of disposals, 421 to 384 in favour of the Bombers. We'll go to... Let's see, clearances were locked at 29, 9-10 centre in favour of Richmond, 2019, stopping in favour of the Bombers. Richmond had more contested possessions. Essendon had more uncontested possessions. Marks 154 to 100. Essendon win that. 11 to 7 marks inside 50 in favour of the Bombers as well. The Tigers, they led this game for most of it, and after really looking good after half time in terms of leading. After half time, a lot of it just was the final 10 seconds where the Bombers went in front. Both sides looked really good in this game, though. Both sides had some good moments and some bad moments. Thought this was a great game. This was going to be like a big season-shaping game. Essendon and Richmond, both sides needed the win, and Essendon came out with a 1-point win. Alright, so Sunday's footy action brings us 3 maybe interesting games, but 3 important games in the context of this year. As we know, the Harley Reid Cup, things are getting interesting there. Hawthorn played West Coast in Tassie. The big rivalry, Carlton and Collingwood. That is a massive game. Carlton desperately need the win. And Giants Saints, I reckon this could be the underrated thrill of the round. I reckon we'll have a good game there at Giants Stadium. In terms of the other games which we've had already this round, Port Adelaide over the Demons by 4, Sydney over North by 3, Dogs over Crows by 45, and then the results in this game. We'll go to the ladder. now where it is currently. Brisbane on top, Collingwood, Port, all on 32. Then on 28, Demons and the Dogs. Saints are on 24, still to play, and so are Collingwood, they're still to play. Cats, Crows are on 20. Those are the ones inside the 8. Essendon and Fremantle are also on 20. Those are the ones outside the 8 at the moment. Very close in terms of percentage between between the sides just outside the top 8. Carlton are still yet to play. Should they win, they will go into the top 8 and take Geelong's place in 7th. Should they win, they're still to play. And then the Giants, so we'll go through the ladder as well. Sydney are on 16 points, so are the Suns, so are the Tigers. The Giants still to play. They could go up probably as high as maybe 14th should they win. And then North Melbourne, but then this are on 8, and then the Cellar Dwellers, West Coast and Hawthorn, they're on 4. So there's the ladder. We'll have a quick little skip ahead to next round. Not that we're going to do too much, but that one does shape up to be a good one. Swans, Blues, Melbourne Dockers might be a decent one as well. Suns, Dogs should be good. Richmond, Port should be a good one as well. And Crows, Lions might be alright. But anyway, though, thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Send you guys never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much. Bye, everyone. Flame for the out.